Hey guys, it's Steve. Welcome to another mental health video. Today I'm talking about my experiences with former BPD girlfriends. The BPD relationship definitely is ups and downs, highs and lows, pushes and pulls. It's a very, it can be a very stressful relationship for everyone. But the funny thing is, when it first starts, is it's all roses and rainbows when it first starts. That love bombing leaves the boyfriend totally in love with the BPD girl. You know what I'm saying? The BPD girl is kind of like a spider. They kind of get you to get in their little web, and then they have a hold of you. They really like to be controlling over their boyfriends. I remember one BPD girlfriend telling me that she needs her boyfriend, so sometimes she has sex with people that she needs. I need this person, therefore I'm going to sleep with them to give them something because I need this person. So BPD girls have their own reasons, for sleeping with people, their own reasons for not sleeping with people. There's so many pros to BPD girls. Like, for example, BPD girls can be very loving, very sweet. They can be very good listeners. They can be good friends. They can have funny sense of humor. Often BPD girls are very pretty individuals. I think one of the strongest indicators to a possible BPD outcome is probably a poor relationship with the father figure. Almost every BPD girlfriend I've had a bad relationship with their father. This can make them closet men haters. It can make them closet men resenters. Like, I dated one girl that just was so hateful and rude and just very insensitive to the boyfriends that she had. I was worried about suicides. I was worried about her boyfriends killing her. I was worried about them committing suicide because of her cold, cutthroat approach towards those men. A lot of times, if you're dealing with an impulsive borderline, it can be even worse because the impulsive borderline is going to do very impulsive behaviors, like call the police on you out of the blue. I've had several girlfriends that have called 911 for really no reason. Like, one time I checked on a girlfriend, just knocked on her door because I hadn't seen her for 2 or 3 days. I just wanted to check on her. She calls 911 on me right there, guys. That's an impulsive borderline. Or another girl that calls the police on you because she's angry with you, or because you said you weren't going to do something. She calls 911 on you and says something about you. The antisocial borderlines are some of the worst ones to deal with because they have not only the borderline traits, but they also have the antisocial personality traits. Those are the girls that are going to smash you in the face. Those are the girls that are going to hit you over the head with something. It's because they have antisocial personality with BPD. I think BPD is really sad because a lot of the fights and a lot of the arguments all stem from a fear of abandonment. Like, the other day, my former girlfriend, I was in the bathroom taking a shower. I had my phone on the floor. I go upstairs. She was mad that I took my phone in the bathroom. Apparently, she has trust issues. She takes my phone and smashes it against the wall 7 times, guys. Most likely, what is this? It's probably like a fear of abandonment, right? She just fears abandonment. But this fear of abandonment, honestly, it led to our breakup because it just went downhill from there. Police intervention, her making threats, me getting defensive. It was just a recipe for disaster, so I had to move out. This all happened last week, guys. We had like 3 or 4 incidents where the police had to show up. She broke my phone and refused to give it back. She was an impulsive borderline, so she did a lot of impulsive behaviors. Like, one time she came out of the house and she was mad at me. She tells the maintenance guy to tell me not to come back. That's an example of an impulsive behavior that she shouldn't be doing. But impulsive borderline will just do it without thinking. They'll just call the police on you without thinking because they're impulsive borderlines, guys. Like I said, there's pros to borderline women. There's pros to borderline men. Like, they don't want to let you go. That's a pro, right? until it leads to a PFA or stalking charges. But yeah, guys, like I said, the girl's fear of abandonment often leads to the breakup. You come home from the bar with your guy friends. You've been nothing but honest the entire night. You haven't flirted with anybody. You haven't asked any girls out. You haven't done anything outside what a boyfriend should do. You've been 100% loyal, but you get home with your friend Bob and Jim. She flips the fuck out on you and punches you in the face. That could be something a borderline would do because in her head, you were doing something at the bar. Borderline women can also be very delusional. They can go into psychosis. There was numerous times my girlfriend went into psychosis. Like one time I brought sandwiches home. She thought I poisoned the jalapenos. Ended up having the police called and everything. It was bad. So they're very impulsive guys. They're going to think, if they get an idea in their head, you know, wake up. Oh, you were on such and so-and-so's phone last night. They get delusional. They say things without proof. They'll accuse the boyfriend of things they have no proof. You know, like saying you're like one thing my ex-girlfriend used to say all the time is that I was going off watching porn and stuff, which I wasn't doing during our relationship. You know, where she would say other inappropriate things were happening, which were not happening. So, you know, that's what you're going to deal with as the boyfriend, guys. You're going to get those accusations. You're going to get false accusations. You know, like my ex-girlfriend one time flipped out and said I held a gun to her head, which never happened. This is impulsive behavior, guys. You've got to be careful. The borderline relationship is really a roller coaster because girls that have borderline personality are going to do the push-pull behaviors. When I was with this most recent relationship, I feel like she had borderline and bipolar. She also had severe anxiety. You know, I knew things were going to eventually go downhill because she was, you know, pretty borderline, and usually those relationships usually end poorly. You know, so I was dreading the worst, and the worst ended up happening, but, you know, we've moved on. I've told her I could still help her in some areas, like if she needs a ride home from the hospital, I could help her. You know, if there's something else small that I could do to help, I would. Trying to be a good friend in the end. Only because I hate things ending poorly. I hate them ending badly. That really sucks. I like to leave on good terms with people. I like to leave as friends, hopefully. That you could have a friend you could call if you were having a bad day, instead of just severing the relationship completely just because you broke up. Yeah, so the borderline relationship, you know, they're going to come in, they're going to love bomb you, and then there's like there can be, you know, periods of really good times with the borderline individual. You know, a couple weeks could go by where you guys are getting along really well. And then out of the blue, the love-hate cycles is one of the main symptoms of borderline, that love-hate cycle. So as soon as that hate cycle triggers, they literally turn into almost a different person, guys. It can be scary. It's almost like Jekyll and Hyde. You know, it could be 2 weeks, you know, and they have this split, BPD split. Now they're like almost a different personality. They're hating on you. They're breaking your phone. They're punching you in the face. They may be hurting themselves, cutting themselves, doing other self-destructive behaviors like quitting their job or lighting your car on fire or pouring gas into your car. You know, they can do anything when they're in a hate cycle. They could call the police on you. They could have you arrested, false charges. You could be sitting in a police car for something you didn't even do. You could be in handcuffs for something you haven't done. So it can be scary, you know, when things are going bad, it gets scary. But anyway, guys, I try not to make these videos too long. The bipolar relationship is a roller coaster. And it's kind of doomed for failure because of the love-hate cycles. That's why these relationships don't work out in the end, because of the love-hate cycles. Once those hate cycles trigger, you're getting all the negative behaviors of that person. They get very hateful. They say very, very bad things to you. They push you away. They do things that almost are irreversible, like her smashing my $110 phone. Yeah, it's only $110, but I had just bought it a couple months earlier. And then she refused to pay for the item. So they can get really nasty in the end, guys. Like my ex-girlfriend literally put my name on Facebook in front of 1,300 friends. That's an impulsive borderline, guys. She's not even thinking about anything, except in the moment she's mad. She posted my name on Facebook because she was angry. I don't think that type of behavior is cool, honestly. You know, saying your name in public. If you have a problem with someone, you really should work it out with them, right? Anyway, guys, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse today. If you guys have any questions about borderline personality or the borderline personality cycle, you can leave it in the comments. I, for one, don't think these relationships are bound to work out only because of the love-hate cycles, guys. You're going to have these periods that everything is going wonderful. And then out of the blue, you get Hyde. which you can often sometimes survive that, but sometimes during those hate cycles, these borderline individuals, men or women, will do very destructive things towards you and others that sometimes are not mendable. Until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in today's mental health video. You can check out my shirts that I design in the comment section. I'm going to post one of my links to my Amazon shirt. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into this video. If you guys have any questions or anything to add to this video, please leave it in the comments. Until next time, guys, have a good one.